why. Right. Before I get into this, let me begin by saying I am so sick and tired of being depressed, unhappy, and not working. So I decided today to walk out on this freaking job that I have. But it's not for me. But back to this. Right, listen. Excuse that light there. Right, this is the video before this one. The history. It looks a bit darkish here, but that's alright. I like it. So, let's see. The Prince's Gate Boutique Hotel. It's an architectural elegance, the story of turbulence, uncertainty, painstaking determination to ensure future treasured legacy of the building. So coming to you, the hotel was built in 1897 in a town called Waihi. Now Waihi is a little beach playground, if you will, about 120 kilometers north from Rotorua, and that's an hour away from Taupo, right, where I live. So the hotel was built from Kuri timber, endured so many trials and tribulations during its long eventful history, but remains prominent and the heart of Rotorua. So in the early 1900s, Waihi was a thriving town, the third largest New Zealand after Auckland and Wellington. Now Waihi is the home of the Martha Gold Mine, then the richest to the day. So many of these hotels and public houses sprang up to the culture and to the demands of the miners, the visitors of the town. One of the finest of these establishments was the New Central Hotel, which was later called and known as the Prince's Gate Hotel, built by Mr. E. Morgan. So bear in mind that I didn't do an extensive tour because it's not really me to, roam around the corridors at 3 in the morning, but that I had to do because stay tuned. It had 75 bedrooms and very quickly became well known for its superior qualities. Visiting the mine officials enjoyed the excellent hospitality shown by the first proprietors of the hotel, Mr. and Mrs. M. G. Power. So, that's the wind. Many distinguished names began to appear in the hotel register, and the biggest wedding social functions were held at the hotel. Due to Waihi being the railhead, it was a popular stay for visitors who passed and were on their way to the Bay of Plenty and who travelled to Tauranga by coach. So bear in mind, these are the little towns all en route to Waihi. After Mr. and Mrs. Power left the hotel, their daughter Nellie, Bud, and her husband took over as proprietors. But Mrs. Bud, a member of the Operatic Society, had a beautiful voice and would often entertain her guests with her singing. After leaving the hotel, Mr. Power later became the mayor of Waihi. Sadly, both he and his wife died from the influenza epidemic sweeping through the region in 1918. In 1906, the hotel was purchased for nearly $9,000 by Mr. Moss Davis, father of Sir Ernest Higham Davis, a New Zealand businessman and the mayor of Auckland City from 1935 to 1941. And he was also on the other Auckland local bodies, philanthropic and sporting organisations. In 1908, the town was still thriving. Miners made up most of the population and kept the bars busy. It seemed nothing could go wrong, but demise was literally just around the corner. With bars involved in price hiking, upset wives, ruling behaviour, generally discontent with the threat of losing their liquor licenses, it was a possibility. Due to the apathy amongst those that did not consider this likely, many did not vote. It was a lot. The bombshell result did indeed see bars in the Waihi lose their liquor licenses by 86 votes. Then in 1909, the bars closed, and although the new Central Hotel closes bars with dignity, many did not. The Rob Roy regarded the hotel that started all the trouble in the first place to close with a large melee, including the throwing of stones and bottles. Close your doors! So the new Central, the new Central Hotel saw a steady decline business-wise for a period of about 3 years. In 1912, it became busy again by providing housing for extra police sent from Auckland to help quell the riots that arose during the infamous mine strike. And the mines were thriving. The men were only asking for better working conditions and pay, even after law and order was restored. The bitterness remained, and many decided to move away. With the declining population, the new Central Hotel was losing the trade. But once again, tragedy brought some temporary relief. When the influenza epidemic hit Waihi after the First World War, the hotel became a hospital. What? And served a great purpose within the local community. However, after the epidemic was over, it was decided to move the hotel to the fast expanding tourist town of Rotorua, where it is today, where I was that time, spent the night. Still my beating heart. It was considered the hotel would be most suitable for tourist accommodation. Such vision and foresight. So in 1920, nail by nail and board by board, the hotel was dismantled and transferred by horse-drawn wagon to the Waihi railway station. What? The timber and the fittings were duly taken by rail to Rotorua, where it is believed that the original building of the hotel, Mr. Morgan, who was employed to reassemble the hotel, and the structure remained almost unchanged from the original. Did I read that right? The timber and fittings were duly taken by rail to Rotorua, where it is believed that the original builder of the hotel, Mr. Morgan, was employed to reassemble the hotel. Of course. Lucky Mr. Morgan. Its new location was superbly positioned at the corner of the Arawa and the Haina Maru streets. So this is like real Maori names. It sits directly opposite the entrance to the stunning government gardens and the Bathhouse Museum, both accessed through the commemorative archway gates. The sign at the gates read, "The wooden arches that grace the entrance to the government gardens once spanned the intersection of the Fenton and the Henamoa streets, designed to represent the royal crown. They were erected in 1901 to honor the visit of the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and York." The newly assembled hotel was finally reopened in 1921, approximately named the Prince's Gate Hotel, and has retained this name ever since. Interesting. Now, for the bit that I want to tell you. 3 o'clock in the morning, I had this, not an urge, just inquisition to get up to go and do the recording, because most of the time you in a hotel, you got everybody all around, you're not doing it. I did it, right? I did it. I got my water jug, I got my camera, and off I go. I opened the door and headed down the first corridor, and it was like in an L shape, which was good. In the L shape, going first to the end of it, picturing walking the corridors quietly, just so that you can't wake up any of the guests, coming back and doing the corridor that was adjacent to my room. The room on the far end on the left, that room was room number 35. And we read that the wife of Mr. Morgan, and remember they passed away from the influenza, right? Yeah. So the influenza hit, and they were deceased. Okay. But I didn't take long. I think it was about 20 minutes, and I get back with my ice, with my jug of water, and I thought, into the room. I'm done recording, right? I come and I put the water in the fridge, and I go and close the bathroom door because that was open. Lo and behold, I walk towards the fridge, and as I'm walking towards the fridge, a little ball of tissue that I blew my nose with pops off the desk onto the floor right in front of me, and I'm like, what? I'm not paying attention to that. I'm not. I left it on the floor, got my glass of water, put the jug in the fridge, and I headed back to my bed, in the bed, and I'm like putting on the TV, because this room is super quiet, too quiet, and I thought, don't pay attention to what happened. That tissue is history. It's lying there, I'm leaving it. That was it. I'm not saying the words, but I don't know what happened to that tissue, why it fell out of nowhere. So, give me a second. I'm back. Okay, so if you can see, these are the nurses. And this is the lady that haunts the corridors. And apparently she is said to dwell the corridors of the top floor. There it is. but it's good. It's good. Anyway, that's my experience, and I think that I might be doing another one of these explores in the future. So if you want to see another one of those, subscribe to the channel. I mean, why not, right? And come with me. Bye. Thanks for watching. Love you.